take a deeper dive. Let me take a look at who Stephen A. Smith is. Why does this dude think he can call me out of my name and run around like Mr. Tough Guy and he wants the smoke? Let me see what he's standing on. So I read his memoir. And when I read his memoir, it was laughable. Just as a journalist, don't pass the smell test were enormous and plastered all throughout the book. And that's why I call him Stephen A. Myth.
Well, the war between Jason Whitlock and Stephen A. Smith has been going on for some time. You know, in the black community, both of these guys are frowned upon and looked at with a side eye, especially Jason Whitlock. You know, Jason Whitlock is just an embarrassment to the culture. I mean, you know, if you ask me, a lot of things that's been said about Jason Whitlock with people not wanting to work with him and stuff like that is well earned. So we see, and he's very antagonizing towards his own people, you know, in front of those people. But Stephen A. Smith, who's been under fire from Jason Whitlock for so many years and never responded, let's check out what Stephen A. Smith had to say. Finally, when he responded on his show, what Stephen A. Smith had to say about Jason Whitlock, and we'll come right back.
In bringing up all of that, Jason Whitlock pounced on it because that's what he does. You see, what he does is he's the one that puts himself in front of white folks. The white folks, not all white folks, not most white folks, but the white folks that dare we say may have a problem with black folks. He says, I'm your man. That's what he does. You think I'm lying? Ask ESPN. Ask Fox. Ask the Kansas City Star. Ask them all. Jamel Hill, Rob Parker, Chris Broussard, Skip Bayless, yours truly, along with a host of black folks all over this country. Every single one of them will confirm what the hell I'm saying about this piece of garbage. Ladies and gentlemen, as a black man, I often told y'all, I cannot imagine, as a black man, knowing our history, anything worse than a white supremacist. That is, until Jason Whitlock came along. He's worse than them. He is the worst, most despicable, lying, no good, fat ass human being I have ever known in my life. And please do not allow this to be a reflection on my character, because this is not how I act every day. But I mean it from my soul when I say this is the worst human being I've ever known. I don't know of another human being worse than Jason Whitlock. He is a piece of shit. He's the dude that's going to have a funeral and ain't going to be no pallbearers. Might be 2 people to show up. He's that dude. He is the absolute worst. And he lies. And he incriminates. And he tries to set people up to fail, to big up himself, because he can't do it on his own. He had a television show. He failed. He's had opportunities one time after another. He doesn't measure up. And now he's coming at the big dog. And let me tell you something right now. I am the big dog. I ain't the only one. There's plenty. Skip Bayless, apologies to him too for bringing up Jason Whitlock's name in the same sentence as him. But we all know what time it is. Everyone knows. All the executives at all the networks, they know what a piece of shit he is. And they begged me not to do this. But even my pastor, A.R. Bernard, said, I'm not happy about it. But every now and then we got to do what we got to do. I promise you, and last to my sister Carmen, I won't do this again. I promise you. I know you cringing. You didn't want me to do this. I'm sorry, sis. It was necessary. He's a sorry, fat piece of shit. A no of the worst order. That's who he is. And I want to make sure everybody knows that. And I said to Isaiah Thomas, and I said to Dan Lebertard, if you care anything about our friendship, don't ever call me about him again. I'm a very forgiving person. Not with him. I don't care what beef I had. I don't care how many of you out there that hate me, whatever, former athletes, all this stuff. Man, please, I'm sorry. Because I certainly don't hate y'all. We might have our differences from time to time, but ain't never that. This is the exception. I hate this bastard. Not even, far more than a little bit. He is the worst human being any of you will ever meet. You get within a mile of his presence. Wrap your arms around yourself to protect your soul. He is Cain. He is a devil. The worst. That's all I have to say. Y'all have a nice day. I'm going to go about my business.
And as I say, I'm not the biggest fan of Stephen A. Smith. I mean, I feel as though he's not that far from Jason Whitlock. He's part of that good old boy network. He's part of that bootleg crew where they look out for the people, for their people in their group. I don't. Some of the things over the years that he said about certain athletes or things like that. Like I said, I'm not. Or positions that he's took on TV. He'll be the first one out, and I'm gonna get to Jason Whitlock. He'll be the first one to talk about racism and WS, and all these different things, but then come in front of you and say he needs to show the producers that black people are capable. He said that like multiple times out of his mouth. Like, yeah, we're capable of having our own. We're capable of being the multi-billion-dollar industry that they capitalize off of. Absolutely capable. We don't need to show them anything. They already know what we're capable of. These are the problems that I have with the likes of the Stephen A. Smith. The Jason Whitlocks, I mean, what do I really need to say that people don't already know when it comes to Jason Whitlock, man? Talking about him probably get you demonetized because the stuff that you would have to say to really express this guy. This guy's a joke, man. And he's been a joke for a long time. And as Stephen A. Smith said, nobody really black wants to work with him because everybody knows what he's about. And it's sad. I think after what Stephen A. Smith has put down and laid down about this dude, I don't know if I really have to say much, have to say anything. As more of this come out, because I know it's going to be going back and forth, I'm going to report more of this. Let me know what you guys think of Stephen A. Smith and Jason Whitlock. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.